What's up, guys? Rizo here, coming at you with another deck profile from a good friend of mine, Randy. He is placed first in our online locals with Lyrilusc, no Tri Brigade, just pure Lyrilusc. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Randy, and I was just testing out Lyrilusc for the first time because I haven't tested them with like Tri-Brigade or anything, but I thought like with the new cards of Synchro this might be something good, and it performed very, very well. That's I'm gonna show you the deck I played for the weekend.
Yeah, go right
Um,
ahead.
okay, so we're gonna start with the main deck here. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so we'll start with three copies of Lyrilusc Barrel Canary. This is basically kind of the new card out of Synchro Storm that's like huge because this just out of nowhere just gets you two bodies on board. It locks you into Xyz, but basically what it does is you can target one Lyrilusc in your graveyard, special summon this card from your hand and the other one from your graveyard. So it's great follow up, and also just a great extender in general. Kind of
So,
what the deck needed.
so it's one of the good cards for that it needed to where it can go into its big multiple plays. So if you get hand trapped, it's a good out
Yeah.
or an extender.
Yeah, it's a great extender, and also basically what this card is able to, it's able to special summon itself even though it doesn't have a wing piece. So for example, the Sapphire Swallow can special summon itself in another wing piece from hand if you control a winged beast, but this doesn't have this restriction that you have to control a winged beast. So basically, this basically allows you to have a line where you basically make your Tropic Drake a future before you make your bounce,
Oh, that's
and
really good.
it's really good. Gotta love to see it, and overall, this card is just amazing.
Okay.
But we'll get to that. But yeah, this card is really good. Next, we're playing three copies of Turquoise Warbler. This is probably the best starter in the whole deck.
I love that card.
Yeah, if you control no monsters, you can special summon from the hand, and you can special summon Lyrilusc from hand or graveyard. Uh, really good. If it just has to be special from hand, so it doesn't have to be special by its own effect.
Okay.
This is really good.
That
Yeah, I would not
plus
play less than three.
what was it? Cobalt. That plus Cobalt is just everything, right?
That plus Cobalt or plus Barrel Canary is basically a full combo.
All right.
So it's pretty good, pretty good. But you don't really have a lot of linear plays depending on where your opponent interrupts you.
Yeah.
We played three copies of Cobalt. This
So
fun summon
a lot of
adds you
people are only
a.
playing one. So why are you playing three?
So basically, you always want to see this in your opener, and also you cycle through this a lot. And the other thing is actually its second effect. When it's used for a monster for its Xyz summon, the Xyz monster cannot be targeted by card effects. It's actually huge this format because the most played hand traps are Imperm as well as Whaler, and just getting like a search through or like even two is good. And also the monster keeps it even if his card's detached. So sometimes I'll just like always detach this as material and then use it again, like summon it from graveyard, use it again, or just go through a second one, just to make all my monsters untargetable.
Yeah,
Uh,
because
and
Impermanent should
also,
get reprinted in Cyber.
hmm,
So,
and also in summon it searches your winged level one winged beast, which is amazing. Yeah. So playing three copies of that.
alright.
And then we played two Sapphire Swallow. I was testing three. Three is too much though because you have to control a winged beast for this.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but yeah, this is just like is really good. It's just like special summon stuff from the hand,
Yeah, probably the
and
best
another winged
extender in the
beast.
deck.
Yeah, probably the best extender. Other thing that this card actually does is if it's under an Xyz material on summon, it gets to attach another one, which is pretty important for OTKs.
Okay.
I also forgot to mention about Barrel Canary. If it's under an Xyz monster, it gains 200 attack, and it cannot change control, so you can't TTT, which is very amazing.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah, and also for the next card, we have two copies of the Barrel Canary. So this card's a new card out of Synchro Storm, and it's pretty good. So on summon, it searches you a Lyrilusc spell trap card, which can search your bird call or your bird sanctuary. Really good. Not sure if I want to keep the bird sanctuary in. Kind of testing with it right now, but bird call is insane. But we'll get to that. And just having this. And the other thing is also it helps you OTK or just have another interruption. because this card can equip itself from the graveyard to a Lyrilusc Xyz monster control. So just gives it another material. Really, really good.
So what does it do under? Does it not do anything special if it's
It
under an
doesn't do
Xyz?
anything.
Okay, so
Doesn't
that
do
one's just
anything.
the
It
only
can
one
just
that doesn't
equip
do
itself from graveyard, which is really, really good. Then actually, about No Tribe Brigade, kind of lied. Played one Nerval.
Well, hey, at least it ain't 18 plus then.
Yeah, I'll be honest, this card really overperformed.
It's just too good.
Yeah, I'll probably play 2 Nerval and 1 Karas in the future. I'm currently testing with that, and it's really, really good. But the 1 Nerval is just really good, gives you versatility, and in this particular build, it's most importantly here for follow-up. I'll show you the follow-up combo later,
Sure.
if you're up for that.
Totally down.
But yeah, basically just like makes Tribe Brigade plays.
Okay.
1 Slower Swallow. This card came up only once against Dragon Link, where basically this was still helping me facilitate the OTK through his ward. So basically he just ended on a big beater, like he basically ended on just Savage. He sealed really early, he savaged really early. He didn't have tidying because I imprimmed his what's it called, his chamber, and he kind of couldn't do anything after, so he just ended on Savage Seal Pass.
What was your
he
hardest
savaged-
matchup so far with this deck?
My hardest was Dragon Link because that is where I went 2-1. But because sometimes you just can't beat the bounce. Like if the thing is like the problem is this like struggles against non-targeting bounces, or like non-targeting effects.
Okay.
So if they target, you usually have your Kobold to protect. But because of Dragon Link has a non-targeting bounce, this can really set you back.
Pretty insane.
So, yeah, but basically this was like my 6th material under the Kobold, so I could ODK.
Okay.
But it's just here for an extender. As a lot of people play the Jester, Jester Convict, but the problem is it's not a winged beast, it's not a level 1. It is a level 1, but it's not a winged beast, so it's not searchable other than by Where Art Thou, and I wanted to have an extender when I needed it. Because it's very rare that I actually need an extender outside of, the plays I'm already doing.
Okay.
But this is just like the best one that you can search all the time. So we were playing one of that. No clue if I want to keep that in the future, but it's definitely worth considering. And then I played 1 King Caballo.
Just one?
Yeah, just one. It's searchable through Where Art Thou, and basically my logic behind this was, I don't care if I see this card. It's good if I do, or like it's okay if I do, but I don't need to see it, and I definitely don't want to see multiples.
Yeah,
So
okay.
just having one is the option. I'm basically playing 4 with the Where Art Thou if
And
I
if you
need
don't, use it that turn as a material, it bounces right back to hand, correct?
What?
Yeah. If
In
you
the
don't
end,
use it
in the end
as,
phase it returns.
Yeah.
Because it's a spirit monster. It's nuts, kind of. The thing is, like, it is good, but like halfway through I just like ended up just only normaling Nerval. But yeah, King Caballo is just like it's a good card. You can play it if you want. I would never consider more than 1 though. Because 1 is good. 1's good. You don't need more. I don't think so.
All right.
And then for the Handheld Monsters, just playing 3 Ash, and we're playing 2 Valor and 1 Crow.
Just one.
So just 1 because it's searchable, and it's not too crazy this format.
How many times did you search it today?
I searched it I think twice.
Did it come up in any situation?
It came out, yeah. Just let me think real quick. So the thing is, this card's like insane against like all the new decks. Dude, my cat's going wild. But basically, it's good against a lot of the new decks. But that's it. For what's it called? It came up against, for example, Warshore World, just being able to banish the Quingle. That wasn't in tournament though, but it was in testing. Played against Warshore World when I tested this deck a lot. Just being able to like banish their add to Lulu is just kind of nice sometimes. And it comes up in a lot of niche situations, For example, Tribe Brigade sometimes doesn't have enough materials to recrow. And most importantly, the 1-into-1 matchup that you gotta like hand trap is Drytron.
Yeah.
So I played against Drytron Megalith, which was interesting. Never really got to see his plays, except for when he went first. But basically, game one I just like bounced, and he tried to like alpha from grave, no Zeta from grave, and I just crowed, and he was just like, okay, scoop. So
The deck's pretty insane. I've seen it played a lot. They
yeah.
used to play that before they played the fairy type
Yeah,
way.
I still think it's a really, really good deck, but yeah, Crow came up like a bit, and just having it as a searchable one of if you need it is good.
Okay.
And the new Nut spell, basically, Word Call. So this card is everything. So basically, on activation, it lets you either add or foolish a Lyrilusc. I only added this far, but I can see myself foolishing with this as well. And then you can special summon the Lyrilusc from hand with a different name. So if your like hand is swarmed up with names you can't special for free, like let's say you have a Kobold or a Celeste Wagtail, just being able to special them and instantly search is really, really good.
You're plussing a lot once you do that.
You just it's basically a Rhoda that can special summon as well. It's crazy good. So yeah, just being able to have this as a search or follow up is good. And then we play one of the what's it called? Bird Sanctuary. So basically, this card on is a continuous, and it first of all lets you convert. It lets you target 2 winged beast Xyz monsters, and basically put one with all the Xyz material under the other, which helps facilitate OTKs or just helps you get rid of like Starling you don't need anymore. And the more important effect is basically if you have an Xyz monster with 3 or more materials on the field, you get to draw a card. So just basically having an upstart every turn is kind of nice. Actually, like this card in theory is better than it sounds, because a lot of the times you just make Zeus, and then this card just kind of goes away.
Keep wiping board.
Yeah, so the card's kind of like worse than it actually like sounds, but it was okay at 1. I don't think I'll play it at 1 anymore because it's just like it's okay searching it, but you hate drawing it. It's just like terrible. Then triple copies of Where Art Thou? So my logic behind this is I was expecting a lot of like I was expecting mirrors because you know Stack's new and people are playing it.
Yeah.
And also for the future I'll probably keep this in because like I was considering Jack in the Hand.
Yeah.
But I decided at the end that Where Art Thou is just better because I don't want to give my opponent free resources.
And I believe in our server, Jack in the Hand is banned because it's kind of like exchange.
Basically, it's Remote Duel says it isn't recommended to play. In that server I was playing, it was legal. But basically, just like I think Where Art Thou is just better.
Yeah. You plus more, and you don't want to give your opponent the same thing.
Yeah. And also the thing is, I have like I say, I have the feeling that people will probably be on this deck, testing this deck, and try hard to make this deck super worth it. Because I have heard from a few people, including me, that this might be the deck they want to play for Utrecht. So that's super interesting, and you know the deck's obviously like it is competent, and I think Where Art Thou really helps facilitate your plays. Yeah. Don't think I would cut this. And then for the one of extenders, we play 1 Foolish. So it's Wagtail and Lyrilusc, you know, just basically just gives you another name.
Yep.
For Bell Canary. Or, you know, obviously Turquoise.
Yeah.
1 for 1. Card is absurd.
Best card in the deck, probably.
Yep, and 1 Instant Fusion. So,
what is your Instant Fusion for?
My Instant Fusion is just a level 1 extender. People are playing, like, a lot of people are trying out the Lyrilusc. But I personally played a Thousand Eyes, which should be millenniumized. It's on the way, but I just played Thousand Eyes for this event.
They work the same.
No, millenniumized works good going first and going second, and Thousand Eyes just going second.
Millenniumized can stop it stops Ash, don't it?
It stops hand traps.
Oh, yep.
And interruptions because basically, millenniumized says you can target like if your opponent activates an effect, you can target 1 card in their graveyard or in the field, equip it to the Millenniumize, and then the effects of that card are negated.
really good.
So basically,
And
it
Abo.
negates it. It negates a lot of shit. Um, so Millenniumize is better, but Thousands was what I have. Millenniumize, like I said, is on the way and probably the better option for the long run. Uh, and also the Lyrilusc is a consideration because it is a towers, and you can like, you can special summon it back with Barrel Canary, if you fusion summon it with that. So it's decent, but uh, I like the ice cards, basically.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
just a
then I
level
played,
man. If a level 1 gets you there, it gets you there.
yeah, yeah. So I played two talents. Card's been amazing because you want to deep draw into your deck. Usually the talents you like, if you resolve talents, you win. Because like I said, this deck likes to swarm, and just having more names is just like amazing.
Okay.
So yeah, and then I decided to main deck two Cosmic. Reasoning is every deck's playing Imperm right now. Every deck's playing Droplets right now. So that's like 2 or like 6 set cards you always see. If people are trying out Chalice, Dragonlink has Tidying. Tribal has Revolt, and Bushworld has Chuchi. And this basically always 1-for-1s no matter what.
So how many times does this card come into play for you then?
Every game I drew it.
Okay.
Like I said, the only time it didn't come up for me was 2 games when I was testing, when they were playing Cyber Dragon and didn't set the Cyber Dragon trap.
Okay.
That was the only 2 times Cosmic was not coming out.
It's good to always hit the Revolt and Tiding in the standby, because then they either force the shoot off the Revolt, or they're just gonna let it go. And same with Tiding, it's either that it's just gonna let it go.
Yeah, I just personally think Cosmic is amazing. I would not, I'll probably not main it anymore, but I'll definitely put it in a side deck, especially now that King of the Sky Prism is live, or like, legal.
Yeah.
Or King of the Heavenly Prism is what I think it's called, the new name. I don't know. European names or whatever, like TCG names are weird. But basically, maybe this might be in consideration to run in the side deck over everything else. But the card's good. Like, card's good. Maybe I'll put it back in the main deck at one point, or like put it in the side deck. But in this event, it's come up. It's really good. But sometimes you just want something else, some ending cards.
Okay.
And then you run one call by.
Yeah, everybody needs it.
Yeah, card's nuts. Don't
Should be at 3, but it's okay.
Nah, I think card's too good. Then I play 3 Emperor. I mean, standard hand trap in the format.
Yeah.
Really good. Plays around talents, and also like I've started to play this especially against Tri-Brigade, because basically if you Tri-Brigade, right, you don't really care about one removal. So if you just open Imperv, you win. And there was actually a time with like in the final round 3, when I played against Tri-Brigade, game 2, which is basically the fastest game in my entire life. I opened Cosmic Imperm, and he ended on Appaloosa Revolt set. So
Insane.
that was funny. So yeah, that's the main deck. 40 cards.
Mm-hmm.
Always gotta play the 40, bro.
Oh yeah.
So for the extra deck, we have 2 Assembly Robin. Cards and nuts. I don't know why Konami doesn't learn that cards need hard once per turns or once per turns overall. But this card basically can attach the Xyz material, and if your opponent special summons a monster, target target one of that special monsters return to the hand, once per turn.
That's pretty busted. Okay.
Yep. And then imagine this card has Talents protection, card's targeting protection, card has an extra material equipped. Like, it's basically 1700 beater that cannot be targeted or change control of. So card is kind of nuts. People can just run over it, but the thing is, like, if this deck survives, it's over because of Nerval.
Oh yeah.
You genuinely only need one Assemblu, but because I'm playing pure currently, or like not a big count of Tri-Brigade cards, you don't need to what's it called? You don't like you have enough space to run two, so you run two.
Okay.
And then basically the nuts card, Recital Starling, play through that.
The
So
rotor
basically
searcher
this
again.
card, yeah. So basically this card is a soft once per turn. And being a soft once per turn is pretty nuts. Because basically you can make this multiple times per turn and just add a level 1 wing beast. So really insane. And then like, with Cobalt you search whatever you want to special with Sapphire, and then with this you search Sapphire, special on both of them, get another one on field. Really amazing. Gotta play through. Then I play 2 copies of the Assembled Lightning Gale. This card basically is just OTK. So if you have this card, use it as material. Basically this card can attack as soon as it has 6 materials, which comes up a lot, can attack directly 6 times for 1400, which is 84 damage. And otherwise, if it doesn't have that, it needs 7 materials. But you usually always have the the chicken under it.
Alright.
And otherwise, it's just assembled a big Zeus. And
What
I'll
was
be
the
honest,
biggest Zeus that you've had?
so basically I had 5 monsters, used them all. Then with Sapphire equipped. Then a Celeste equipped herself. So that was like 7 materials. And then with that, I had an 8 material Zeus.
Pretty insane. You were just throwing them out there at that point.
Yeah, the thing is, like, it wasn't even necessary in that game, but it was just a win more. But yeah, this card can like become really big really fast. But basically, what I did was a Dark Ruler him, and then I tried to OTK, and I was like, fuck, I'm under Dark Ruler, so I just made a big fat Zeus. So yeah, that's also what this is really good at facilitating. And then we play one of the Wander. So this card basically just says once per turn, target a spell trap on the field. Your opponent controls, shuffle it into the deck. So it's non-destruction removal, really good against Sky Prism. Gotta love to see it. And yeah, this card's just been amazing. Didn't come up too often, but against back row, you just kind of gotta play it. And as a one-off, can't really go wrong. Especially because you have the extra deck space.
Oh, yeah, play it if you have it.
Yep. Then, obviously the F-Zero package.
The best package in the game as of right now for
Yep.
pretty much anything.
Just having the protection is just really good. This deck, like I said, it shits out Starlings. So basically getting 2 of them on the field, then doing this. And then like after you make the F-Zero, you can just chick, special another one, and then go for the Assembly play. Which just gives you like 4 interruptions, and 3 of them are bounces, and you have an in protection.
Okay.
Also what I forgot to say about Assembly, right? If this is sent to the grave of an opponent's card, I get to add back a Lyrilusc from grave.
Oh, that's pretty insane.
So that's just follow up by itself. And then for the last Xyz, I played Zeus.
The big Zeus.
I just gotta play it.
Just one?
Currently, just one. Don't think you need multiples. If you make this, you're usually winning. There was like one time in testing, not even in a tournament. In testing is always like, I always like to say testing, because like in testing I'm not that serious about my plays, where I think I wanted to. But if I would have, like, instead of just hard making Zeus to try and wipe the entire back row, I should have just tried and picking it apart with this. So basically, the only time I needed a second, or I wanted a second Zeus, I was just basically, I basically just needed it because I misplayed before. And if you improve misplays, then you don't need a second Zeus.
Exactly.
But if you want to,
when you can in testing, then actual games.
Yeah. But if you want to, you can cut one Assembly and just play a second Zeus, I guess. And then you play the 1 Millenniumize, or I did. We already talked about what this card does.
Yep.
Steals an opponent's monster. It's a level 1, so you can overlay it. It's really good. 1 Link Kuriboh. This card's pretty nuts. It only becomes better when, you know, I'm currently trying to Karas version and just being able to link off Nerval to go into Karas and shit. Really good. And also, most importantly, you make this card a lot because you sometimes, you know, you like normal summon one of the um what's it called of the ones you yeah like can special summon.
Yeah.
I link them off and then just go like for the Barrel Canary, special summon them back, get their effects off. You lock the Turquoise after, but in this version you literally don't care. So it's cool. And also this card basically protects your Blue from getting ran over.
Yeah.
So just like kind of overall does a perfect job. And for the Tri-Brigade package, we run one Fergie and one Shrike. This package is nuts. This package, like straight up, it like
Versi is
basically
just so easy to go into because you don't really need
yeah.
try names. But then even that, you don't even need try names for Shoe Rag. It's just a winged beast.
So
Alright.
then side deck
This is when we
against
get to see
Com.
Spice.
Not really. It's like okay. So we do play 2 Nib, 2 Droll, and 2 Dark Roller. So these basically, let's just get this straight. Against combo, these cards are all nuts. Like open Dark Roller, you kind of like, you know, just make a big Zeus and win. If you open Droll against a lot of the combo decks, you just win. And if you open Nib, Nib's like the worst of all of them, oddly enough. Because Nib gives you a body on board, so that means you can't special the Turquoise. But I don't like playing 3 and 3. I just like the 2 of the Nibs. And yeah, it's just against combo. You want to play a bit more aggressively with when it comes to like interruptions. Because if you draw a Dark Ruler on top of a hand trap, it's just kind of like nice. Same goes for draw. If you draw draw against certain decks, just nice. Yeah, really like it. Really liked it. Can't complain about this ratios honestly. Maybe I'll play a third draw. But I would not cut these others down. Like Dark Ruler's just been insane. Nib's been insane. You know, I think I don't need to explain why Nib's good and why Dark Ruler's good.
No, Nib's just insane.
Yeah.
Everybody's playing it because combo is just everywhere.
Yeah. So basically, here comes a little bit of spice. So because we only play the one Kinkabayo, which is like semi-searchable, and Nerval, which is totally searchable, but I didn't plan to do Nerval turn 1 that often, I decided to play a little bit of a spice against back row decks. It only came out in testing and didn't come out in tournament because it was very, like, you know, combo heavy. I played against Dragon Link, played against Tri-Brigade, played against, what's the other one? Was like Magic-y, I think. Which did like Aurora combos on me, which was kind of wild, but, you know, decent. And I played 2 Danko.
Danko?
Because you don't need a normal summon in this deck. So,
alright.
Just being able to normal that and just like full combo, make a Zeus, wipe the board, like wipe like 5 back row, and they can't do anything about it, which is kind of good. Kind of good. They gotta have a judgment or you know, yeah, judgment or you know, kind of can't do anything. The third Cosmic and 2 20s. So it's the red reboot. You know, just like more back row hate. I would not like to lose to back row decks. I'm thinking of maybe cutting the 20s because they're like semi good, and putting the Cosmics in the side. But obviously, you know, you want to have a decent amount of back row removal in your deck. If you don't have that, you just kind of like lose against back row. Like this deck chews through back row very well. Like against little interruptions, this deck like small interruptions, this deck chews through like nothing. But you know, you have like a bunch of dead cards in your deck. You have like, what does Vader do against the trap deck?
True.
Yeah, and then the last card, Harpy's Featherstorm.
Alright. The VFD.
Yep, literal VFD. So the thing is, I didn't even play it because it is like such an insane card. I actually took it out for testing a lot. So basically, I would not recommend maining this card because it kind of sucks. Go like in the main deck. But you know, in the side it's good, and because the reason is, usually your board already wins you the game. But this thing plays around Droplet. and just being able to like get your whole board droplet and your opponent still can't do anything is kind of like, you know, kind of important. Because sometimes it's just, you know, nice to like have something, and then like your opponent just goes like droplet, tries to like do your entire board. It's fine. They normal summon, use their effect, and you just like, you know, chain the harpies.
Pretty much
um
stops everything, man. It's a
yeah.
really good card. I played this. I played this when I played Bird Up with Tri Brigade
Mm,
and did the barrier
yeah.
block, and you instantly flip
Yeah.
that. They honestly just have to pass their turn half the time.
Yeah, actually, like like my goal was like to wait for like something big and then flip it on resolution. But I just usually I just play them. I play this thing like flipped it and draw phase like one scoop, and they're like, yeah,
Yeah, when you flip in the draw phase, they can't do nothing. They just look
yeah,
at you and go, "Well, yeah, pass," and it's pretty much OTK from there.
yeah. Because like I said, you have your back row removals. So sometimes even if they have drop light, they like set one pass. You know, like go ahead and wipe that away.
You know your way
You know,
around it.
yeah, you know your ways around like a droplet or anything before you try to go for a decay. Uh, but yeah, this card is just like insane overall. So yeah, basically the side deck,
Yeah.
and that's what I
What you
basically
came
went
out with?
undefeated with. Uh,
What was the record?
so
4-0.
it was a smaller one. I only had like 3 games.
Okay. I
Uh,
mean, hey.
I 2-1 the Dragon Link first round. You know, first game, I won the dice roll. I made like 3 bounces. He didn't even know what Assembly does. I was like, wait, this shit's not once per turn, scoop. Game 2, like I said, I had Imperm Veiler plus like combo. So, you know, a Veiler for what's it called? Imperm is first his what's it called? His Dragon Mate chamber, and then like, you know, Veiler something else I can't remember. I think it was like I think I either did that on like a striker or on a tracer. I can't remember. But basically, you know, he ended on a pretty decent end board even through that. But you know, if they waste the seals on my normal, and then, you know, I just go ahead and special summon, like go ahead like seals, they bounce my normal. I go ahead and activate Sapphire, kind of game. Um, second, and then, you know, second game was against like this Magic-y deck, which was like basically game 1. I made a full board of like everything. So I had this up, I had the Draco Future out, and he was trying to play through it, couldn't quite get to it. And then second game, I didn't really know what the deck does. I had Imperm in hand and Veiler. Actually, funny enough, again. I only needed Imperm though. So the thing is, no, I only opened Imperm. Right, I only opened Imperm. I remember. Uh, trying to, but basically I just let everything go through because I didn't know what the deck does, and I was like, okay, the ads kind of like don't do anything. And then what basically he did once he made a Rorodon, I was like, okay, that's probably a good time to Imperm.
Oh yeah.
So Imperm that. He had an extender in hand, which basically let him get an extra normal, and then if this card, if the card, it could normal itself basically to additional normal, then it could special summon Magic from graveyard, which immediately would facilitate the synchro play. Then he made like a rank 8 that gave him access to his field spell, that gave him access to being doing a ritual, and it gave him access to like a spell trap, counter trap, or like trap negate, you know, spell trap negate.
Mhm.
And then like he also had like an attribute lock or something. It was really weird, but I couldn't really play through it. Didn't have any extenders, so I kind of lost that. And then, you know, game 3, I comboed. Did open Harpy's Featherstorm. Uh, you know, I had like Harpy's Featherstorm. I had Ash in hand. I had Called by Set. He didn't open any interruptions, so it's kind of like my game.
Okay.
And then game 3 was against Tribergate. Game 1, I went first. He tried to break the board, but the problem is basically you go like Draco Future on a normal summon, and then, you know, you bounce their special summon extenders. And actually this game was where it came out that he was like, okay, You Draco Futured, I'll go ahead and Talents to take. And I was like, yeah, sure, can't take that one. It's like, what? Why? So that was game one. Game
Everybody's playing
two,
talents now. After all these reprints that came out, everybody has all these cards, and
yeah,
now people are realizing we have to play around these now because back then they weren't so easy to get, but now they're
yeah,
somewhat decent at a decent price for everyone to get, and now we
yeah.
have to adapt to what we have to go against.
Also drop like getting a reprint soon. Might get prepared for that one too.
Yep.
Um, so yeah, that was that. And then like I said, game two was just like basically a walk in the park. You know, uh, if you open like it was a bit weird for me because I was like, okay, one interruption and I'm dead. But I open like what's it called? Uh, Cosmic plus Imperm against Appaloosa Revolt Pass. And he didn't have Tri Brigade Order, so I won that one.
Well, man, I appreciate you showing me your deck and all this. Appreciate you coming out to the call. Do you have any shout outs that you want to give to anybody?
I want to give a shout out to Alex. He's like a guy on the Discord on our Discord. He's like a person that also kind of grinds on this deck, kind of tries it out a lot. And basically on the first day of testing, we kind of went a bit about the list. Same thing goes for Technoxic on Discord. We were kind of building on that, or like we're kind of like I was looking for suggestions and ideas for the deck, so they kind of gave me that. And then like for example, shout out to Sardas, also from Discord. He basically gave me the Denkosek attack, because he was like, wait, you don't need a normal summon. What if you just play Denko? And I was like, yeah, it's actually funny. So yeah, shout outs to these three. But that's it basically.
Well, like I said, man, I appreciate it. If anybody wants to come out and play in our Discord locals, I will have a link down in the description for you guys to come play with all of us. We would love to have everybody there. We're a big family. We all get along. But yeah, Randy, I thank you very much for showing me this, and thank you for reaching out after you've done this.
Yeah, no problem, man.
All right, man.